Video we looked into how we got our API keys, and now we are going to go in a little bit more details about how we can use the Google API key or the Google AI key in Google Colab and start working with the Gemini LLM model. So now I will quickly look at the screen. If you can see, this is the notebook that has been given by the Google. The details are there in the ai.gov ai.google.gov page. If you can go here, so in this particular page, as you can see, we have all the information regarding the pricing. As you can see, this is the pricing that is here, and it is free for initial 60 queries per minute. So, and this is a good thing for us to practice and play around with. And this is a great place. I have showed details about this in my previous models. Right now we have 3 Gemini models available, but for us to test we have Gemini Pro. Getting the API keys, you can click this part and go to the Maker Studio and get the API key and start working with it. Once you get the API key, you go to Google Colab Notebook. Once you go to Google Colab Notebook, you go to the key, and then you can add your new secret key. So I add like Gemini 1, and then I can add my new key. Suppose this is a key that I have, I can just add it here, and then I can save it. So right now this is done, but I am using the, if you want me to use this key, I can use this key as well. So Gemini 1 is my key, and now this is a quick start guide from Google documentation. The first thing is we need to install the Python SDK before we start any program. That is the base. So you can see this part, pip install myqu generative AI. So this is it will take a couple of seconds to install. What we are going to do is we are going to take a basic text text to text, wherein we are going to play around with Gemini LLM. The best part about Gemini LLM is that personally what I felt is the control, the regulations. So if you see that they are not answering the wrong things, they are having the it shows up an error if you are asking them something to do unethical. If you are asking for something like how to steal a bank or something that is not in the societal norm, it is going to give you an error. And that is one thing that I wanted to show you. Other than that, it is very similar to the OpenAI GPTs, but this control that they have brought, this feature is very, very interesting when we are looking at the Gemini Pro model. So once we run this is a basic you can say necessary packages for you to start working with it. You can see that Google API key, I have used Gemini 1. I just renamed it to Gemini 1. So I am putting in this place Gemini 1, and this is very similar. Google API key, user data.get. This is the Gemini, and then Google API key is your API key. So you're configuring the Google API key that you have put inside your Gemini 1. And now I want to check the list of the models. So I'm running a for loop to see what are the different supported generative methods right now in this particular library. So we can see we have 2 models, Gemini Pro, that is text to text, Gemini Pro Vision, text to image, and text to video. So now you can see, guys, this is we are going to do first text to text. So we are setting the model to Gen AI generative model, and we just give couple of seconds this to load. And now I am trying to check for a response, and I am giving this question, how to steal a bank. So this is a negative question that I am giving in here, and then what I am trying to do is, it took around 3.8 seconds to run it, and now I am going to ask for the response. So now when you're seeing, when they're asking for the response part, it is giving us an error. Why it is giving us an error? The response part, as you can see, was blocked. This is because of the security concern. The response was blocked, and this is the best thing about this particular thing. If you can see in details, the response was blocked because of a particular reason, and that is what is the good control for the API. So if the API failed to return a result, the generate content response or prompt feedback to see this particular thing. So let me just try to see run this and get the prompt feedback. Why was it blocked? So let me just click this, go here, prompt feedback, generate content. So I think this is the response.feedback. So what is my response? This is the spelling mistake, I think, response. So when I do the prompt feedback, the reason for this particular thing, due to safety concerns, to see if it was due to the safety concerns. So it was block reason because of the safety concern. It is, can you see this? Harm category dangerous content, it was high. The probability was high. That is why it was blocked. So like suppose I change the question is safety concern. So how to hack the system. So in this, let us see what type of response it is going to give. So in this case, it was harmful response. It is going to take how to hack a system. So this is a spelling mistake, so it is taking some time. So so how to hack the system. So let me see what is the type of response that it is going to get in this particular case. And when I do markdown response, I am sorry, I'm not allowed to. This thing is an illegal activity. Let us see what is the feedback. Okay. So this is actually, this is not because of any API failed to return result. This is not because of any issues. That is why everything is negligible. But as you could see, when I did how to steal a bank, how to enter USA without visa, without passport and visa. So let us see what is the type of content it is giving. So any unethical or any question that we are not able to answer in a correct way, it is going to give us a error. So okay, so this is giving us an thing. So I think this is the best example for now, how to steal a bank. And the response is, it is giving you an API error because there is no response. And if you want to see the reason why it is not giving us a response, because the content dangerous is high, and this is a stuff that is there. And Gemini can generate multiple responses for a single prompt. The possible responses are called candidates. Now coming back and I'm putting a proper question, I will just say how to get a data science job in 2023. So this is, let us see what is it. Now we can play. I wanted to show you guys how the Gemini is controlling the output and giving us error if it is moving away from the responses. And the second option that we are going to quickly look at is the normal response that is there about jobs, because I have just released a course in this particular space. So it has given us a very, very good response, as you can see here. And some of them are what I also talk about very, very regularly. So now coming to responsive dot candidates, this is giving us a different opportunities and options that is there, multiple responses for a single prompt. And these are some of the things that are there. And the next thing that we wanted to show you is streaming. So what is streaming? To stream the responses, the default model returns a response after completing the entire generation process. You can also do it through streaming. You can also stream the response as it is being generated, and the model will return the chunks of the responses as soon as they are generated. So let's run this. So now response is equal to, it is taking some time. Today a little bit Colab is slow. Okay, so now we are going to put it inside chunks. The meaning of life. So it is, can you see? It is putting into a chunk with the lines that is there at the spaces of 80. So this is very, very amazing. When streaming, some responses attributes are not available until you have iterated through all the response chunk. This is demonstrated as below. So this is again, we are trying to do the same question. Yeah. Okay, so now we want to just have a look at the response. Okay. So this is the response. So this is some of the things that we need to do, and we can play around with this. Now we will look into generating text from an image, and getting some text output. So we played around with Gemini model, Gemini Pro model. We practiced a lot of options and things that we could do. Now we will look into the different options with the image. So here they have given an image from the internet. So we have got this image, image.png, and then here we want to read this image. And we want to use the Gemini Pro model here right now. So we use the Gemini Pro model. We need to change. Earlier on, remember, we had the Gemini Pro model. In this scenario, we could change it to the Pro Vision model. And then what we are doing is we are asking for responses. And we ask them to generate content about this particular image that we have uploaded here. So give it a couple of seconds. Today it's a little slow, and there are meal prep containers with chicken brown, and so it is going very much detailed. It is there, and then you can also ask it to create a short engaging blog on this picture. It should include a description of the meal in the photo, and so this is one thing that is there. So you can do this as well, but I wanted to show you one example of one of my images that I have wanted to share. So you can also take the image from the internet, and I wanted to also upload one image from my community event that I had recently. And let me see whether it can give me a good answer about this. So so this is a community event. So I am giving, so I will not let you know what I am doing here, but this is a community event that image from our last community meetup that happened, and I want to the Gemini model to understand what is that model. So this is image.gpg. This is image.gpg. So I'm going to now run this. Again, I have to, okay, so I think I need to change the name of this, rename this to 1, so that I can call this as 1. So I'm using the pli.image. I think image1. Let's include an image. Okay, let me just delete this and run this image dot one. Okay, so it is taking this image, so I need to okay, let me, what I can do is in curl I can this why is this? I think it is not. I think I need to change the name to something else. Okay, let me do this. Image1. Okay. So it looks like something has overwritten this particular thing. How to pass this particular thing? Okay, I think I am doing something wrong. This is the image to look. Okay, I renamed image to image1. That was my mistake. The real image is this. Let me rename it and make it proper image. Image.jpg, I was like confused what is happening. Now what I'm doing is image.gpg. So it is taking this image. So if you can see, I'm talking about some topic. There are some people, some of my mentees are looking at this, and then what I do is the Gemini vision model is there. Then I ask it to write a understand this particular model, the model for this particular talk that is happening, and it will try to understand, and let us see what response does it give. So suppose this is an event that has happened, and now I want to write a LinkedIn post for this event, and what can I do here? So I can use this Gemini LLM, put the image, ask the response to understand the image, and then get the output. So this picture shows a group of people sitting in the room listening to presentation about large language models. So it is telling us exactly that what is the person talking about. The presenter is standing in front of a screen which shows a slide, the title, what are the large language models. So this is about the details about that, and the slide also includes a diagram of large language model and some text that explains what large language model and how does it work. And now suppose I want to use the same response, I can mention, right, I can take this response and I can ask it also to write a short and engaging blog post based on this picture. It should include a description of the talk in the photo and talk about the topic discussed. What is the topic that is discussed? And and I need to also mention about the image. Where is the image? The image is getting stored in IMG. If you can see on the top, the image is getting stored in IMG. So I need to also pass as a parameter. If you can see, a parameter here is IMG is the parameter that you can pass it here. So once I run this, it is going to give me the wonderful blog which contains all the details from the picture. So first we need to test whether the picture is able to read and understand, and then it can even write a blog, write an article, and do a lot of other activities around that particular blog. So let us quickly see. Let me check the response now. So we have the complete details about large language model is a type of AI that understands and generate. So it's an amazing thing, right? So it understood the text also, and it gave a conversation as well. Now taking this into a different version, now we can also do something called as a chat conversation. So we have known that chat bots are very important, and if we needed to save the chat as a history, as a memory, we needed LangChain, but Gemini has something inbuilt in this thing. So if you can see, you have an option of history. So once you are chatting here, you can save the history here. So as you have called this by parameter, a computer is like a magic machine that can talk, and now once you check on the history, you can get all the details, the text that person asked, and what was the role of that particular thing, and what was the output, and in the form of text. So everything is going to get stored here, and then also you can keep sending the message to continue the conversation. Use stream is equal to true. So when you use stream is equal to true, you will see that the conversation is going to continue, and yeah, so one by one, if you can see, everything is happening here, and you can play around with this. glm.content is one also a very good thing. It objects contains a list of glm.part that each contain either a text or the inline data. So if you can see this, you can also make it properly like a markdown. And so now regarding embeddings is also very interesting thing. It is a little bit advanced topic which maybe we can discuss in the next video, but till now I wanted you to understand about the basic things that are there. So you can see the message roles, you want to make it star, and you can do everything. And these are the things that you can really do with the help of this. It is going to make it more cleaner and beautiful. So embedding is what we are going to cover in the next, and advanced use cases, about some of the advanced use cases that are there, which you can check out in the next video. So thank you very much, and see you in the next.